Hi everybody, it's Mark Shelshi and this is the Mark Arts Show coming to you from Galleria de las Islas in Metro Manila, Philippines. Hey, I want to talk about something today that has come up. I had a message from somebody and it was a little bit of a challenge message, so I thought I would address it. The message really stated that, hey Mark, you talk about business and art business and that we are, as an artist, we are a small business, and you seem to think this is more important than us being artists. You know, I don't need to know about business, I need to know about art. Okay, I want to respond to that because I think it's a really good question, and it's a question that I should address. Okay, I know that I talk about business as part of the art practice all the time. I talk about it because I want you to be able to care for your money, look after your time, and understand that selling is part of the business. Okay? Now they're all business practices, I know. They're not art practices. I don't tell you how to paint paintings. Okay? I'm standing in front of one of mine. I don't tell you how to paint, and I don't want you to learn how to paint like I painted. Okay? I don't tell you what materials to use. I don't tell you what canvases you should use. They're all things that you need to grow into and speak to your fellow artists and find. I would encourage you always to use the best materials you can afford so that you can produce the paintings that you want to produce. Beyond that, what you do as far as your creative thing is really up to you. I am not here to tell you what to paint, and neither do I. I don't tell my people who work with me in the gallery, the artists, I do not tell them what to paint. I just tell them whether I like it or not. It's really my taste. I don't talk about what's good or bad, you know that, and I don't believe in criticism. Okay, so let's talk about the business then. I talk about the business. Now, why do I do that? Okay, here it is. I'm going to have to read it for you because I wrote it out because I thought it was easier because then I understand what I'm saying. The function of business principles for the artist is not to make the artist more business-like, but to make the artist more artist, to make you more creative, more innovative, and ahead of the game. Okay, I want you to be ahead of the game. I want you to innovate and innovate and innovate. And believe it or not, most artists don't innovate. And I want you to be creative and do original work. And believe it or not, there's a lot of artists who are not creative and don't make original work. Okay, hear this. Building simple, viable business principles into the artist's practice is to make you, the artist, more efficient and more productive, not more business-like. I want you to be more artist. Now, it's hard to be a successful artist if you can't balance your books. It's hard to be a successful artist if you don't know where you spend all the money. It's hard to be a successful artist if you don't catalog your work and keep records of the paintings that you've done. It's hard to be a successful artist if you can't sell your paintings. It's hard to be a successful artist if you can't save money. Now, these are all simple principles of business, and that's why I talk about them. I want you to be as creative as possible. I want you to innovate as much as possible. I want you to be ahead of the game. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, if you're not worried about all these principles that we talk about, if you are keeping records, if you are saving money, if you are budgeting, if you are being frugal, if you're doing all these things and you don't have to worry about them like other artists, you're getting ahead of the game. You are dealing with everything. See, art's a complete thing. Whether we like it or not, friends, the moment we put a price on the painting, the moment we put a dollar sign, a peso sign, any sign on a painting, we're in business. Okay? You go and speak to the government, they will tell you you are selling something, you are in business. Okay? So we need to be able to get those principles right. Just simply, I'm not asking you to become an accountant. If you get to the point where you have that big a business, you won't pay somebody to do it. You know, you do that because that's what it's about. Now, I hope you understand that. I talk about these things and I will always talk about them because they're so necessary for artists. Nobody taught me this. I remember struggling to meet my bills. I remember worrying about money and how the pressure of that on you as an artist will slowly kill you in many respects, pushes you down, stops the creative thing flowing. But if you know where you spend your money, if you keep records of where you spend your money, if you keep records of all your paintings and so forth, it makes your life easier and better. And then it leads us to the sale, which is the most important thing. People need to understand you and understand your work. Paintings are very, very personal things. They are very personal. My paintings are very personal, and if I don't explain my paintings, most people don't understand what I'm doing. And I know that when people walk up to this, and I tell them, and I'll see if I can get you a better shot of this, that this is a woman sleeping, most people don't get it. They don't get the joke. They can't see it. Until I begin to point out and say, this is the head here, this is the shoulders here, and this is the leg here. Until I begin to show that, and all this that's going on above her is her dreams. Okay? So it's really personal because it's mine. You know, this is painting I made. So I can understand it, and when the viewer comes and sees it, it just looks like this abstract mess. But when they begin to recognize the head and the arm and the legs here, and then they realize that what I'm saying is all this here is dreams, I personalized it. It's me. This painting is part of me. And when I show it to people, I'm talking about myself. Just like you do, when you paint, your paintings are personal. They are yours. And oftentimes they need someone to talk about them. I've said it before, you know, talk about your paintings like you talk about your children or your grandchildren. Talk about them with the feeling and the passion that you have for them. That's what people are attracted to. People love passionate people. People love motivated people and enthusiastic people. All these things are very, very contagious. They're like the measles. So be passionate about your work. I love my work. And honestly, friends, I don't care if it doesn't sell. I'm happy to live with this for the rest of my life. I don't mind if it doesn't sell. I'm not trying to sell it. If someone comes in and they look at it and they start to talk about price, I try and talk them out of it. Now, I don't want to lose my paintings. So that's me. But I don't need to sell the paintings. I survive through my business and what I do. So friends, what I'm saying to you is that it's important to be passionate. And it's important to know how to run your business. But it's more important to be artist, the creative person, the innovative person, and get ahead of the game. Remember what I say, you've got to connect with the stranger. Passion, enthusiasm, and all those things connect with the stranger. Then you've got to build a relationship with the stranger so they like me and they like my paintings. And then I build towards the sale by getting emails and connecting in that way, you know, so I can send them my email, my blog, or send them something to connect with them. That's what you have to do. Friends, I encourage you, please. I know you don't like it when I talk about business, but treat it like a business and act like the artist. Live your life like the artist. But make sure you know where your money goes. Make sure you're saving money. Make sure you're frugal so you can do the best you possibly can and connect with your strangers. Okay, you have a fabulous day. I look forward to the day when you come and visit me here in Galleria de las Islas and we talk about art and have a cup of coffee. Remember, people are hurting out there. Reach out to them, touch them, care for them, love them. Hugs and smiles are free. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. You guys have a fabulous day and we'll chat tomorrow. My name's Mark. I'm here in Galleria de las Islas and that's my painting. I did it. Bye.